curse words and sarcasm were used in the making of this video.
Hello, Potty Mouth Crafters. I am back today with a salty card creation that I did for the Potty Mouth Crafters Society Facebook page. So over there we play craft roulette, but with no limitations on our parameters, which means we are allowed to use phylactic objects, adult tones, anything that would make Mary blush is definitely allowed. So for this one, I brought in my main character stamp set from Ink Road Stamps. This one was, I don't know, released a while. I don't know. It wasn't too long ago. A couple of months ago, probably. I haven't played with it yet. If you are new to Ink Road Stamps have switched their, how shall I say, how they do things. So Laura has decided to do just kind of like, she does do pre-orders once in a blue moon, but they're a short pre-order, so maybe like a couple of days long, sometimes, you know, a week. But ultimately it's, you know, first come, first serve for the most part. Unless it's a pre-order, then you have that allotted couple of days to place your order, and then it takes a little bit longer to ship. But ultimately, they drop fast, they go really fast, and so, you know, if you miss it, you miss it. You know, we set alarms, we do all the things, so we make sure that we don't miss it, because we like getting new stamps, we like naughty stamps. And so if you are interested, that's kind of where you can find it. If you are looking for something specific that's dropped in the past but you missed it, check out the Ink Road Stamps Buy Sale Trade group, answer the questions, and they will let you on there. I think you might have to be, I don't know if you have to be a part of the Ink Road Stamps like Roadies group or not. Anyways, so if you're looking for this one, that would be the place to try, because you ain't gonna find it anywhere else. Other than that, I'm pulling in one of the Tim Holtz sets I picked up at Joann's before they closed. So this one was like a mixed media one. I think there's a full-sized one of this one that just kind of has postage stamps and airmail things and all the things. So I pulled this one out. I actually made this card in the clean version for Craft Roulette, which I will get to on my Inky and Scrappy channel hopefully this coming week yet. I've been slacking on doing voiceovers and speeding up things. It's just not been my go-to lately. Anyways, so for this one, I just did a lot of stamping, like just collage style stamping. It was fun. I haven't done this for a while on video. I've been enjoying this it kind of brings me back to like when we first started stamping, or when I first started stamping, using colored inks or markers and all the things, and kind of not actually coloring anything for the most part, but just kind of using the colored ink pads and making it work. Now, I did use Distress inks on this one. It's not the greatest thing to stamp with, so just keep that in mind. Distress oxides definitely work better. I had used them on the other one. I was trying for a watercolor effect on my first card that I did, and so I was using them and adding a little bit of sprayed water to them to get like a washed out look, which I liked. But for this one, I didn't want that look necessarily, and so I just used them as regular stamps. Now, you could definitely use them in a stamp platform, and then you can re-ink and ink again if you don't get that good impression the first time, like I did with this one. But other than that, you know, I wasn't too worried about it. They were small stamps, so, and if it didn't stamp perfect, it was fine, because it was supposed to look like a postcard, kind of having that haphazard look to it and not really worrying about perfection on this one. I think sometimes as creators, we aim for perfection because we want it to be perfect, but sometimes perfect is overrated. 100%. So for this one, I just kind of played with my ink colors. I tried to make visual color triangles, if that makes sense. So you'll see my purple tone is kind of in 3 spots. My green tone kind of goes at an angle across the card. And then of course that red one kind of just had some, I think there's only 2 on that one, but of course the line on top kind of is there as well. And so that kind of helps me to make the visually, I like it that way. I don't have too many colors too close together and all that jazz. So for that main character energy, I'm just going to bring in that Mischief Maker stamp on the top here because I felt it needed something up there. I had thought about my stamp wasn't, I don't know how they were like stuck, so I just snipped them apart like they were supposed to. So manufacturing error, it happens. It's not a big deal. Anyways, I thought about doing a banner over the top on this one, and I thought, you know what? I want it to be a flat card panel. So that's what I'm doing. It really is mailable like this. On the back side, I could definitely just throw on a postage stamp and an address and make it into a definite postcard. I will probably, after the fact, like, you know, I'll probably put it on a card base just because that's usually my go-to, but we'll see. I haven't decided what I'm doing with this one for sure yet. So I did bring in my Ohuhu markers for this one. I've kind of played with, I think I grabbed from whichever ones were closest on my desk. I have both the Honolulu and the Oahu, and I just kind of grabbed whichever ones I felt were going to go well together. And then, of course, the ones that are going to match my ink colors that I've already used in my design. So I'm just bringing in a skin tone one here and just kind of coloring fairly simply on this one. I did switch my black ink to Pink Fresh Studios Detail Black. It dries better than the new Lawn Fawn and new Hero Arts pads that I've had. It's still not perfect. It's a lot better though. I will say that this stamp set did not stamp the greatest, and I think I did re-ink my ink pad after this, and I've had a lot better luck with it. Brand new pad. I did buy the re-inker right away, and it definitely was not juicy. I'll say that, which is frustrating for a new ink pad, but we never know how long they've sat on the shelf wherever they're, you know, because I bought it at a local scrapbook shop. So I don't know how long it sat on their shelf. I don't know how long, you know, so it doesn't have a manufacturer date on it, right? So whatever. I re-inked it. It's doing a lot better, but it does take a little bit of time to dry if you don't hit it with that heat tool. Just keep that in mind. But it is still better than the other ones I've found thus far. I have a new one headed to me, the Lisa Horton one that I really want to try. So I will, you know, keep you up to date on my Inky and Scrappy channel. Not so much this one. Yep. I haven't been here very often lately. I will say I know I need to do another one this month yet. That's why I kind of started this channel. So I have a birthday card to make for my brother that's no longer here. So of course I, you know, need to make something naughty. I have ideas. It's probably going to happen today yet. It's just, I don't know when I'll get the video footage edited and voiced over. So probably not by his birthday on the 16th, which was my hope. It helps if I'd had the card done already. Anyways, I just grabbed 2 ink colors for this one. I went with the green color to go with. I just kind of matched my swatch cards there to go with my ink, you know, the ink that I'd already used. So I kind of wanted to do the 3 main colors of ink that I threw in here. I may have been on Crafty Chat while I was creating this one. A, it happens. B, I get sidetracked, and it usually takes me a little bit longer to get things done. Yeah, it happens. I also think I might have Googled on this one what the Labubu's look like. I couldn't remember the ears, like if it was the skin tone or the green, where it was at. So I had to, you know, I Googled those things because this, you know, Labubus aren't really my thing. I don't have girls, and we don't fall into all the ragey things, like all the new hip things. Yeah. My boys have 0 F's to give when it comes to that stuff. I mean, you know, if it was back in the day, if it was Pokemon or superheroes, maybe. My littlest one, if it was the current sports that are on, and or, you know, teams, that sort of thing. Yeah, and neither of them were very big on what was hip and popular in the world. Yeah, the youngest one, sunglasses, I guess. That's probably his one vice, as his mother got another, you know, like, dude, you bought sunglasses again? Well, I haven't for a couple of months. Yeah, so he's like, I don't know, but I can't even complain because his sunglasses aren't in the hundreds, so there's always worse things to do, right? So for my colors here, I'm just pulling in my swatch chart. I kind of lay it over. That's what the hole is for in the middle. I kind of can color match that way fairly well. Now these colors don't look like they're going to match by the caps, but they definitely match in real life. So keep that in mind. That is why I say swatch your markers. I've also redone my Etsy, Inky and Scrappy Etsy shop digital listing for my Ohuhu markers. It has all of the new 2025 colors on it. So if you are either using the brand new 2025 numbering system and you want to cross-reference them and you want to cross-reference them quickly without having to go online, it is all there for you. It's a $3.50 for, I think there's 5 files on there now. So I have my old one as well, but the new 2025 color combos are on there as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, I redid all the ones that were on my old list, and then a couple that I found that were not on my old list that must be new colors as well. I've added those. So I did bring in my black jelly pen here. I was thinking it was my jelly glaze pen. It's not. It's just my flat black jelly pen, which, I mean, it still has a little bit of a glaze, but I wanted the glossy. And I didn't realize it until like 3 cards later, 2 days later, or 3 or 4 days later. I don't know. I was just like, how did I not realize that I was grabbing the wrong one? The one that I wanted is white on the end, and I scribbled black on it, so I knew which one it was. Yeah. Rookie mistake. That's all I gotta say. Even us seasoned pros fuck up from time to time. It happens. I did come in with my white jelly pen just to add the teeth back in. I really left them white, but they weren't, I don't know. I wanted them extra white. I did add the little white dots back onto the eyeballs to give them a little bit more of a pop. And then I thought, oh, for craft roulette I needed, so it was postcard. The colors were Easter basket. That's why I kind of went with those light pastels. And what were the other things that were on it? One was shiny. And I don't remember what the other one was. I did it. I just don't remember what it was. Postage, package. That's what it was. So package. So all of the stamps kind of remind me of the outside of a package. So there you go. So that's, you know, how I went with this one. So I needed to add something glossy and shiny. I think it was shiny. So I brought in the little skull and crossbone stencil from, I think this one is the mini stencil from Tim Holtz, and I was like, ooh, I'll just add one of these little scullies on here with some fun metallic paste. So I did it on my first one with white, like a white metallic, and I was like, oh, I'll use the bright pink one because, you know, I have that bright pink Labubu, so I was like, oh, I'll just use the bright pink one. So here I am coming in with my little scooper, putting it on there, got it perfect, and I wiggled my stencil sideways because my desk is piled up 3 feet on each side, and I bumped my piled things. So yes, I fucked up my card right there at the end. Beautiful, I tell you. Was I frustrated with myself? 155%. I was actually pissed, and I said a lot of cuss words. But once I got over it, which I bounced back pretty fast. I was like, whatever. It is what it is. It just kind of adds to that authentic, shipped through the U.S. Postage Service. I love my mailman, but, you know, all the machines they run everything through eat everything and anything. So I was like, fine, I'm just going to use it and I'm going to go with it and we'll make it work. So I brought in some silver Lunar, I think this is Lunar paste. Forgive me if I'm wrong. So in the gray, and I added that. And then ultimately I do add another one up towards the corner because I felt I needed the 3 on there, you know, because it was 3 of everything else. So then I added the 3 of those as well. And, you know, and then once this all dried, so this was the end, I was done with it. Once it all dried, I did come back in with my blue little ink pad and added some more distress all the way around the outside and then swiped it across. And I love how it turned out in the end. Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Stay salty, my friends. Stay salty. Bye.